So, hi guys, I am Rhonda. I am the managing partner of Equity First and the host of the Credit Authority. I was actually born in Huntington and grew up in Smithtown.
I grew up in, well, I was born in Brooklyn. I grew up in Long Island. I'm a Long Island boy. I was born in Holbrook, I'm happy now. And the biggest and most successful thing that I've done to date is being part of Pink Tide, hands down. I mean, when you start really giving back for the sake of doing good, you find that you start doing well in life, and more blessings chase you down, and you start meeting people, and then again you reconnect with old friends, and then you build new friends, and it's all from giving back, really.
Hi, I'm Heidi Felix. I'm the Vice President of Sales for LifeVac, and I am from Wonton, New York, originally from upstate, so you'll sense a little accent from me, but I'm here 33 years now, so I guess I'm a Long Island girl.
Lou Bernardi, born and raised in New Hyde Park, Long Island, and currently reside in Glen Cove, New York. So I'm the assistant baseball coach and recruiting coordinator at the United States Merchant Marine Academy. I'm also the president and founder of Valor Sports. Yeah, so I've been coaching college baseball for 12 years. This will be my 12th season. Very fortunate. I played at a pretty high level in college at the D1 level, and went on to play very short-lived professional career.
In my line of work, I speak to a lot of people that are having credit and financial challenges. So one of the biggest things that we are seeing is lack of opportunity, lack of education, and the cost of rising expenses and inflation, especially surrounding housing, has been tremendously difficult for people that are living on Long Island right now. Really, resources has kind of allowed us to all group together and say, what can we do to make our community stronger and help somebody?
We were originally just looking at breast cancer organizations, but then we saw a need in other cancers. Then we saw a need with COVID in food insecurities. And that's really what made a difference. And, it's humbling in all aspects when you see people that are, that don't have choices or alternatives, right? And you're their choice or their alternative, and what you can do to help them. Even on the smaller scale that we give back to Stony Brook Hospital and the cancer facility, right? Our donations are minuscule, but as an aggregate, they definitely help to change people's lives.
Everything that we do at LifeVac is about saving lives, and it's really about raising awareness and educating people and letting people know that we have a choking first aid device that has saved over, I think we're at 632 lives as of today. Behind me, you'll see a wall of pictures, and that is what we call our Hall of Saves, and those are all the lives that we've saved. So people who are disabled need another option to be able to be resuscitated in choking emergency, and she is one of the most incredible and inspirational people trying to get life back into schools, because kids are choking to death in schools, and getting it into areas where there are people who are developmentally disabled and really need something like this. So I just wanted to say thank you for Tony Babate for all the wonderful things that she's doing to really help us save more lives. So
opportunities is a big thing for me, and kind of why we started the Valor Sports Foundation and Valor Sports was to just make sure that we're giving each kid an opportunity. So one thing I see in youth sports is just opportunities to get out and actually play. And whether it's baseball, soccer, football, I know Gary does amazing work with football, just making, getting kids outside, getting kids from stop playing video games, giving kids that chance that we had, me, you, Gary, and everybody else had, with being outside and competing. Just instilling that is one of the major challenges I see today.
The lack of really resources has kind of allowed us to all group together and say, what can we do to make our community stronger and help somebody? Because for every time you put your best foot forward to help somebody, we feel like it comes back 10 times. You're giving opportunity to people that may have really been on their last down and out dime.
I said, all right, let's go do our part in the smaller sections. And that's what happened. And then when you start rolling up to some of these churches that open their back door and there's 300 cars online waiting for your food, that by far is the most humbling experience that you could, when you go home and know that there's food in your house, and know that you're going home to take a hot shower, and know that you're going home to a warm house, You know what I mean? I spent 5 minutes in the cold going from my car to my house, and I couldn't believe how cold it was. And it wasn't even 35 degrees. These people, they're staying outside, some of them. You know what I mean? They're staying in bus stops. They don't have their next meal. That, to me, on Long Island, when I work in a place where, you know, people drive cars that cost as much as houses, it's a humbling experience to know, like, 15 minutes away, there's 300 people that are waiting online, and 100 of them are homeless, let alone that they just don't have food. And so that's becoming very dear to me, is making sure that we're providing food. And same thing like Gary, they're all in the shelter. I mean, that's, it's 400 mouths that he's feeding. That's a humbling thing to do on Thanksgiving, because there are a lot of people that are a lot less fortunate than us.
We got donations of all the food and serving people, and just seeing how grateful the people are to receive a hot meal on a Thanksgiving day and to be greeted, and the thanks that they had for Gary for what he does. I think that's what inspired me so much. The idea that he took a circumstance that he saw a need, right? He knows that there's so many people in these shelters, and the homeless really need to be taken care of, right? And so many of them were so grateful, and I think that was the most impactful day.
These kids staying inside playing video games is leading to, obviously, childhood obesity, but also, we're hindering their development as far as having the ability to mature, interact with others, deal with adversity, and become leaders. And so being out there and competing and working with others, regardless of the sport, to me, that creates real leadership.
And projects that we've predominantly worked on so far have been surrounding the event that he does for Thanksgiving, where he feeds the families that are currently residing in the shelter. And then we also do work together through my initiative of Holiday Dream. And what Gary is doing there is assisting the people in our local communities that are in need of support for the holiday season. So we partner with Gary to make sure that those families receive what they need to provide holiday cheer for their children. Once they realize who he is as a person, where he kind of started, and what he, and what he represents for the community now, his NFL career, I feel like it's small compared to the big heart that he has, right?
It's just who Gary is. Other people get surprised by it. He's such a big guy. He's so humble. He's such a teddy bear. And he'll stay till the very end. I'm surprised that he does that. And I'm like, yeah, well, if you knew Gary, you wouldn't be surprised. Because for him, it's not about the celebrity. He doesn't look at himself as a celebrity. He doesn't look at himself as a Super Bowl champ. I mean, he carries himself as a Super Bowl champion, but that's never what he leads with. Always leads with charity first. He's always, ever since I've known him, he's always, hey, how can I help you? He's never asking for help. He's always, how can I help you? And he's the guy that's walking around with a cane and
Here I am on Thanksgiving with nothing to do, and Gary invited me to help feed the homeless. And it just, again, one of the most inspirational people, seeing what he does in his community and giving back. And he, in turn, helps other kids, with the football program that he does over the summer. How much fun do those kids have? And I was like, how do you do it? How do you do all that you do? Because he does it with grace and dignity, and he never shows his stress. And so I think that his biggest challenge is that he needs to ask for more help. Does at Thanksgiving, feeding the homeless, and giving toys at Christmas, and helping people who really need it the most. And
in 2021, Gary had come to speak to our team in the week leading up to championship playoff baseball, and ironically enough, that year we won the championship. And Gary gave us good advice. It was awesome. The kids still talk about it today, and it was a cool experience for them. Working with Gary is a lot more than just youth or athletics or community. There's nothing too small that together he and I don't think it deserves our greatest attention. So whether it's a toy drive for Toys for Tots in the holiday season, whether it's a food drive during Thanksgiving, or really any time, clothes, equipment, anything that we could do to essentially give back, help others, we're willing to do. And we've done amazing work in the last 4 years, we'll call it. And I'm excited for our friendship moving forward to see what's next for us.
Oh my God. Gary's awesome. So I don't want to use that word, but he's really a special human, right? Like I just love that guy. You know, my family loves him. Everybody I know loves him. So I wouldn't even know that I could wrap one word to describe him. But he's just a real special person, and he has a special place in my heart. And I know he has a special place in other people's hearts as well.
Gary Brown is a gracious man. With every step that he takes, that would be the word I describe him. That's what I enjoy about Gary. Again, like I started off by saying, his perspective is a little bit different than most people that I look at. You know what I mean? For a guy his size, with his stature and the things that he's accomplished in his life, his perspective is very humbling, you know, and because he's seen what a lot of people haven't seen in life, you know, on both aspects.
I mean, I would have said teddy bear because you said one word, right? But compassionate really, I think, kind of brings everything into play because, you know, he has, with his big heart and with his connections, he's been able to help so many people. And he really takes so much upon himself, you know, when he does this. And he's so selfless. So I couldn't say that, you know, because that's kind of who he is. And he just is inspirational.
Describe Gary Brown in one word: humble. To me, the best quality Gary Brown instills is he's extremely humble. I deal a lot with athletes. Being a former professional myself, I can relate. You know, sometimes, and especially at his level, a Super Bowl champion. He could walk around and he could act a certain way in social settings, at events, but he doesn't. He's extremely humble and proud, and he's extremely approachable. And those are very rare qualities from somebody who's achieved the level of success that he has both on and off the playing field. So it's a great quality. It's something that I know when kids look at him and they see how giving he is, it's a trait that they instill on themselves, which makes him a great mentor. And those are things, in my opinion, cannot be taught. It's either you have it or you don't. And he's a very special individual. And I'm very lucky to call him a friend.
Hey guys, it's me, your friend Rhonda, and I just wanted to take this special opportunity to congratulate you on not only everything that you do for everybody in our community, for being who you are. You are probably one of the most selfless, amazing people that I've had the opportunity to call my friend, and I love you so much.
Know that God's got me in his life to help move and motivate him as much as he does me. You know what I mean? I sit and hang out with him just because I love to get his perspective on life. You know, it's so much more different than the one that I grew up having. And I enjoyed that about Gary. You know?
Gary, I just want to say thank you so much for you being such an incredible person, a wonderful friend, a compassionate human being who helps so many people. And we are here to celebrate you. You should be the one being honored right now because you are absolutely an inspiration to me and everyone who knows you. So thank you so much, Gary Brown, for what you do for so many. I am blessed and grateful to be here for you, with you, and be your friend. Thank you.
Gary, thank you for this tremendous honor tonight. We've done amazing work in the past, pre-pandemic, which is rare because a lot of new relationships have started because of that pandemic. But we go back before COVID, and I am extremely looking forward to the future, working together. I consider myself part of the team of champions, and I'm excited to see what tomorrow brings.
For
people that may not know what Dream68 represents, take some time, research it, look into it, see who Gary is today, and figure out how you can support him. And so this way, his initiative grows and the people in our community stay healthy.
It's really all about helping people and being there and, filling a need where there is one.